Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. This is your host, Stewart Kraintz, and this is your inside track to success. Super happy that you're here with us. I know it is the holiday season at the time that this show is going to debut, but promise you that this episode will be applicable just about any time that you could possibly listen to this. And before I go ahead and dive into today's topic, please subscribe. If you're listening to this on Spotify, please be sure to give us a 5-star review. Just helps this information, these guests, these messages make it out to more of the public, makes the show more relevant in search functions anywhere somebody's looking for a podcast. So please go ahead and do that, especially if you get any value out of today. And I'm pretty confident you will. Today, I want to dive in on gratitude. It's a very interesting time of year for us all. For those of us in the United States and Canada and the UK, it's the holiday season. You're celebrating Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. If there are other holidays out there, which I'm sure there are, I apologize if they're just not coming to my mind. But point being is the end of the calendar year is often a time for reflection. It's a time for gathering. It's a time for celebration. And it's also a time for people to pause and reflect and also look ahead to the year that's to come. A lot of the refrain in popular culture is that we've kind of been going through the grist mill, so to speak, over and over again, particularly since 2020. And I don't see as much optimism in social media or online as I have in years past. And I just want you to know that even though these last few years have been really trying for many of us, there's also a lot to look forward to. Each new day is a new opportunity to create something new. I said it before on one of my episodes, but a mentor I look up to in the life coaching space, she always says, right here, right now is the only place where something new and different can occur. And that's true with you, wherever you find yourself as you're listening to this. Whatever it is you want to create with your life, just know that it is possible and you're only a couple of steps away. And I did a couple of episodes already, all about goals, I even did one already for 2024 goals. You can go back. It came out a few weeks ago. And, as we are getting ready for our New Year's resolutions, our goals, what we want 2024 to be, it's also really important, guys, that we stop and pause and take stock of the year that was. Take a look back on the last 12 months and really pause and reflect. What is the good that you've created? What's the impact that you have had? How have you grown as a person? And maybe, there are some things that you didn't accomplish necessarily, but how far have you come towards those goals that remain uncompleted? And the reason for this, guys, is because we live in a society that puts so much pressure on the end result that we often forget to stop and enjoy the journey, to take pause, to take stock, and really look and see what it is we have created along the way. I have a client of mine, not going to name names, but somebody I have worked with for some time, who I'm incredibly proud of. She is somebody that is in a leadership role in her business, absolutely works her tail off all the time to create new results for her clients in the financial services space. Yes, she has her own personal income goals. She has income goals for the people on her team, but she gets the opportunity to look back and look at the financial difference she has made in the lives of the people that she serves, because she shows up and does the work every single day. And in her case, maybe she might be a little bit short of that goal, at the end of 2023, but you know darn well she's going to hit it in 2024. And she's going to get there because of all of the people that she has made a difference for, one at a time, by making relationships, by educating them on their finances, by giving them the opportunity to grow their money and set up their retirement funds and their education funds for their children. This is a very obvious example because we think so much about like money, career, finance, personal health, and wellness. But like, what are the relationships that you've created this year that you're proud of? What are the choices you chose not to make that have impacted and influenced where you are now for the better? So taking the time to truly stop and pause and reflect on what you have accomplished, or at least the difference you've made, things that you're proud of yourself for. I think this is actually the most overlooked aspect of setting goals and setting resolutions for a new year. You know, I pulled it up before hitting record, and the Ohio State University just did a research study that they show that 23% of New Year's resolutions are abandoned in the first week. 43% of New Year's resolutions are quit by the end of January. Only 9%, 9%, only 9% of resolutions stick. And the reason New Year's resolutions fail en masse, y'all, is because it's not as easy as flipping a switch. Many of the changes we want to make require us to actually be fully committed, not only to ourselves, but the vision for why we want to do the thing it is we say we want to do. And we get to make that commitment bigger than our circumstances. And the reason pausing and reflecting is important is because, and I've said this a lot, and I'll continue to say it until I'm, in my last days on this earth, but we build self-confidence by keeping our promises to ourselves, but it only works if we acknowledge ourselves for what we've done. And this includes stopping and pausing and acknowledging ourselves for the times that we get out of our comfort zone, got messy, got uncomfortable, did things that we wouldn't have normally done in pursuit of our goals or our visions. And so, again, going back to my client, maybe if she isn't reaching that financial goal by the end of the year, she can absolutely look herself in the mirror, head held up high, knowing all of the people that she personally has impacted this year. And whatever you're up to listening to this, whatever your goals are, whatever your dreams are, maybe you didn't hit them in 2023, but you definitely won't hit them in 2024 if you don't shift and reshape and rethink how you look at yourself when you look in the mirror. And you start doing that through self-acknowledgement. How did you get outside of your comfort zone this year? What have you not looked at that you can actually acknowledge yourself for? And really let it land. Let it fill you up. Let it fill your heart space. Like, let the accomplishments that you have created, because I promise you, you've created some type of result for yourself. Use it as feedback that empowers you and furthers you and pushes you forward, so that 2024 is absolutely the year for you. Because it's important. The world's in a very, very complicated, messy, ugly, dark place. I think a lot of us would agree. And so the world needs you at your best. It needs you out there making the difference, making the impact, causing the ripples that are going to have even bigger impacts. because no one's going to come do it for us. So we need you at your best. The world needs you at your best, and you owe it to yourself to create the life of your dreams. So if you're listening to this, something very, very brief that I would highly recommend you do: set aside about 10 to 20 minutes for yourself. Just take a sheet of paper, a notebook, doesn't matter, and list out 100 things that you are proud of yourself for, that you acknowledge yourself for, that you take ownership for from 2023. And if you're sitting here thinking, there's no way I can come up with 100 things, yes, you can. I promise you. One of my big things is I ran my first half marathon, but they don't have to be that big. They can be like I reconnected with a friend who I hadn't spoken to in 15 years. I'm being more gentle with my dog. I'm being more patient with my kids. I tried sushi and turns out I like it. I challenge you to make it to 100 because I know you can. Push yourself if you need to, but also let it land. Let all the things land. All the impact that you've created, all the things that you're proud of yourself for, all the things that you want to take ownership of, write them all down. And guess what? Don't stop at 100 if you get to 100. If it's easy for you to get to 100, go to 125, 150. Heck, go to 200 if you can. Like, let it flow on the paper. If you're typing it, let it flow through your fingertips. Just let it all out. It's your permission. I'm actually giving you permission to love all over yourself like maybe you wouldn't normally. And that's something to acknowledge yourself for, that you're going through this process and doing this exercise. You know, a lot of us become achievement robots, always seeking achievement, finding our personal value in our achievements because we don't stop and let it land that we've actually done something. So this is an opportunity for you to look at yourself, look at everything that you've done, everything that you're proud of from this last year. Let it flow through you and fill you up. And then go write your goals for 2024. Then go plant your flag on your New Year's resolution. Because it's going to be challenging. It's going to be difficult. Circumstances are going to arise. But remember, if you compare life to a game, the circumstances that come up are just a new set of rules that we get to play the game by. And it's a lot more figure outable, which is 100% a word that I'm going to own in this moment. You can figure things out more effectively when you believe that you are capable of doing so. And when you're acknowledging yourself, you build your confidence because you're building that credibility with yourself, especially when you let it land. So today's message, y'all, is really short, but I hope it landed with you. It's basically, you're going to hear a million podcasts from your favorite podcasters all about your 2024 goals, how to set goals, resolutions that stick, blah, 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 yada, yada. I came out with one a couple months ago because I actually think it's important to start on your goals whenever. Don't wait till the new year necessarily. Like if you're catching this today, how can you start today? But that's a different episode. Definitely go check that one out for sure. But what I find a lot of these podcasts will not do is ask you to stop and pause and take stock of the year that was and allow it to be the opportunity to refill your own cup amidst all of the holiday chaos. So please do that for yourself because you owe it to you and the world needs you at your best. Again, this is your host, Stewart Kraintz. This has been your inside track to success. Thank you all for being here with me through 2023. It's been an amazing ride and journey so far. We got a lot more planned and a lot more coming down the pipe for this podcast in 2024. I cannot wait for what we got in store for you. So please like, please subscribe, please follow, please share this with somebody and shoot me a note, y'all. I want to know how it goes coming up with your 100+ things that you can acknowledge yourself for this year. Let me know what comes up for you. Would love to keep that conversation going. Message me at Stewart Kraintz over on Instagram. Let's keep the conversation going. Best of luck to you in 2024. I'll be here to support you every step of the way. See you there.